Thank you for joining me for Sefer HaMitzvos daily study, lesson 70. Sorry for the camera repositioning here at the beginning. So we're finishing up talking about positive mitzvah number 213, which is the mitzvah of marriage, of Kiddushin. So we talked about it yesterday about how there's three parts to marriage: the contract, the giving of an object of value, and finally marriage relations as the three steps. So with I wanted to, since we got another day to go through this, talk about those a little bit deeper. Not for too long, but so first of all, the ketubah. How do we know that there's a ketubah? Is there actually a verse that says that there's a ketubah? Well, there are things that um, seem to echo this idea of a kasuba in Tanakh, but there's nothing directly that says you have to give a wedding contract in order to get married. So where we learn that you would do this is that the Torah says that if you're going to divorce, God forbid, you're going to divorce your wife, you have to give her a writ of divorce or a get. You have to give her a get, and that is also a contract that says that she is now permitted to another man, that she is no longer acquired by her previous, her now ex-husband, and she's now permitted to another man. So that we have a mitzvah deraisa. It's written in the Torah that's a mitzvah. So we derive from that, if there's a contract for divorce, then there must be a contract for marriage. And okay, so next was the giving an object of sufficient value. What's the sufficient value? It's not much. I mentioned that yesterday. It's at the times of the Second Temple, it was a pruta, at least a pruta, and a pruta is not much at all. It's like pocket change. So really what that basically comes down to is you can't be giving, especially with valid witnesses, giving an object to a woman. If you're a single man giving an object to a single woman in around witnesses, that's problematic. You might have unintentionally started the wedding process. So, all right. So that's about the value of it. What can it be? Rambam says in Mishnah Torah that it can be money, so that you could give her money. I guess you could give her a pruta, and then you would have started that process of marrying her. The issue with giving money to a wife is that Jewish law assumes that when you get married, your accounts are merged, and so now what's hers becomes his, and so you give her money, and now you're married, and then she really didn't get to use that money at all. She would have had that money anyway, because you got married, and so I mean, you put it into her account, and her account becomes your account as the husband. You really like what really took place. Like, did you have actually any loss as the man? So um, if you're going to be giving an object of value, it needs to be something that she can use immediately, that has immediate value to her, something that she can, and by going along with immediate value, like something she can use right away. Um, that it doesn't have to be like once once they're off and they're together, what's hers is his, right? Um so so you give her something that in that moment, standing under the chuppah, um, is has value to her at that moment, and is an object that she can use immediately under the chuppah. Um, and and then there are other things that would also be uh, things to think about here. So this is why we don't give money; we give a ring. The What I was alluding to, the other things, is that ring has other significance. The ring is an unbroken circle, so that's why many Orthodox Jews will give a just a simple gold band, um, because it's an unbroken circle, and it is it doesn't have all the other flashiness or whatever of like a lot of people's engagement rings. A simple gold band, and the gold also has it's something of value. There's probably other reasons why we would use gold, um, and so it's something she can use right away. It's something she can put on her finger, or he can put it on her finger under the chuppah. It becomes hers in that moment. It's not his any longer, and it's something that she's able to wear right away. So it's like a garment or an adornment for her. Um, and so this is why we give rings for weddings. And then the next step is relations. Obviously, when the husband and wife, are able, um, at the first opportunity of after marriage. I say first opportunity because it might not be on the wedding night, due to other factors. They come together, and do what husbands and wives do. Um, so that would be the final step. But in order to um, confirm that the and finish all three of these ways that we consider someone married, we have something called the yichud room. And a yichud room is where the husband and wife go, and they're isolated together in a room, um, after being under the chuppah, and there you would have two valid witnesses standing outside each door if there are multiple doors. This is the ideal situation, that they would be in that room alone. Um, there's I say ideal because there are other factors that might not allow this to take place, which we might talk about later on. But So they go into this room, and they stay in that room for I believe it's 8 minutes, with the witnesses standing outside while they're inside. So they're isolated together, And contrary to the way a lot of people do things nowadays, this is supposed to be the first time that these two have been alone together, that they've been in yichud, um, uh, uh, being alone together, and so um, being that they have been alone together, which is not normally permitted in Jewish law. Um, but now that they're married, that is allowed and necessary. And so nothing has to happen behind the doors. They can just eat some snacks and drink some drinks. It's a beautiful time because keep in mind they've been fasting before the wedding. It's like Yom Kippur for the husband and wife, for the chassan and the kala, and so they're enjoying each other's presence for the first time as husband and wife, and it's a very beautiful thing. And so those that is kind of the nutshell of what a Jewish wedding looks like. One thing I want to mention real quick: I'm not a historian. I love history, but I don't know the history of weddings in other nations, etc. But the sages say, and Rambam says that um, before Mount Sinai, before the giving of the Torah, it used to be that a man and a woman could meet each other in the marketplace, decide to go off together, be alone together, have uh, act as if they're husband and wife, and that was how you got married back in ancient times. And that just was understood to be like you were being in a now committed relationship. Um, Unfortunately, nowadays people don't have that kind of intent. But the at Mount Sinai, we received instructions regarding marriage. So where now does the world get their traditions now of doing things that are extremely close to the Jewish law, where they give a contract, where they have a wedding contract. It used to be that you had a betrothal. It used to be that you had like prenuptials, etc. For any even a Gentile marriage, not just a Jewish marriage. And so where does this practice now come from of weddings? You have them in Christianity. You have them um, in Islam. You have them in other religions. I would say that if Rambam and the sages are right, and I assume they are, that Judaism has had a profound impact on the world through the wisdom of the laws of marriage. Unfortunately, nowadays these things are becoming muddied, and people are confused regarding these values. But I would argue that these came from the mouth of God, given to Moses at Mount Sinai and passed down through the Torah and through Jewish law, and have really transformed the world into a better place where even even Gentiles have adopted many of these practices. And I would say that it most likely came through Christianity's initial birth from Judaism, is where these practices must have leaked into the Gentile world. But an interesting thought, something I've been pondering. All right, thank you so much for joining me. Have a great day in every way. Have a good Shabbos, and also um, uh, Pesach Sheni, so the second opportunity for Pesach, or at least the opportunity to nowadays to have a little matzah with your meals, and remember the day of Pesach Sheni when those who could not keep the first Passover would keep the Passover. This is happening after Shabbat, Motzi Shabbos, and on Sunday, and maybe some reason to be doing so the second day as well. So have a great day in every way. Have a good Shabbos and a wonderful Pesach Sheni. Bye.